We got a grand for you to win. This is a great band called the Al Kaline Trio. They are from Chicago, Illinois.
Big fan. Love these guys.
Me too.
Despite Al Kaline being a player for the Detroit Tigers, these guys must have been big fans of his. Never understood the connection, but Al Kaline has died. He was a legend with the Tigers, Hall of Famer and such, and I thought that he died a long time ago. My wife grew up a Detroit Tigers fan, right? That's her neck of the woods. And I thought that Al Kaline had died many years ago. He was one of the elder statesmen, if you would, of that organization. Non-COVID related. You got to say that now. Non-COVID related. They said that over the past year or so, his health had been declining. So he was 85 years old. And if you were a Tigers fan or if you paid attention at all to what they did, you know them. And, of course, the Al Kaline Trio. Very... Although these guys aren't doing anything right now either because Matt's in Blink-182. But, boy, what are you going to do? You know?
Like them.
What are you going to do?
What song do I know by them? They have, like, one preppy song I feel like I would know.
One preppy song.
All
All right. You mean peppy? Because they're all kind of peppy.
Yeah, they're all kind of poppy.
I mean, preppy.
Yeah.
Preppy song. Interesting. All right. I figured Stupid Kid would be the most.
Time to Waste. That's the one I know.
All right, sir. There you go.
I probably know more, but that's the one.
And also, Vic Henley died.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
A comedian who many of you might not know. He hasn't been here in a long time. He used to make it in the rotation for our Sum Up shows, but I just, over the years, played it less and less because he didn't really come through that much. I didn't really have that many conversations with him. But he was still very active, I think, maybe in New York. I don't know that he traveled that much anymore.
Well, he would come to Cleveland pretty regularly because he was dating a woman that lived here. So we would hang out a little bit and text a little bit, and it's just a real bummer. Not an old guy.
57.
Yeah.
Young dude. He was from Oxford, Alabama, which is between Birmingham and Atlanta. My dad
Great stories.
Grew up in Alabama. My dad went to Auburn University, which is about an hour south from Oxford. And so when Vic would be here, we'd kind of tell Alabama stories, I guess. Mine through the prism of my dad, but Vic was just one of these guys that just kind of had, because he still had the twang.
Even though he lived in New York City for like 30 years, he always had that twang.
Never lost the accent.
One of the best hosts of comedy shows, which is a different skill set completely than just being a good comic, but being able to set up the crowd and get them into the show. I saw him host at the Comedy Cellar, and he was just fantastic.
And he was, to the end here, he was still kind of in the Anthony Cumia crew, right?
Yeah. I think he's more with Opie these days. But
okay.
Whatever. He was, but he's beloved by comics. And
I saw it from your tweet.
Yeah, toured with Ron White. Yeah, a listener, a customer, hit me up this morning and said Vic Henley died, and I went on Twitter and got some of the details, and just real bummer.
I mean, to be so widely beloved as a comedian that you have an article of clothing named after you is an unbelievable... I have a closet full of Vics, and I'll tell you what, boy...
Your Vic Flex 5?
Yeah. I look so smooth. So, yeah, that's a real bummer, because he was not... he had gray hair for a long time, so he always looked older than he was. But, I mean, he's 57. He had a pulmonary embolism. Now, he was a longtime smoker, too. Not a guy who took great care of himself. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but a young guy nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
He did a lot of stuff over in London for a long time, and but you're right, he never lost the accent, never lost the twang.
It's scary right now. There's a lot of coming to grips with your mortality right now between COVID-19 and just being alone more and being isolated from people. It gives you a lot of time to get in your head and think about how life is short.
Is that something that you haven't really dealt with before this?
No, I deal with it all the time, but I see other people dealing with it.
I had a really hard time with that when I first started getting sober.
Yeah.
It was like, because you're so, without masking yourself with alcohol and stuff, you do the same thing. You have a lot of time to just kind of think and feel how you really feel about certain things. And I had a really difficult time with that for pretty much the last year. I'm glad I dealt with it a little bit before coming into this.
I was going to say, it's a good thing that you had you had a year of sobriety under your belt before any of this happened.
Oh, yeah.
Just a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, March 3rd was a year.
Yeah.
So, 13 months.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, I just don't understand how someone could be sober right now. Like if someone was going to be sober, like, January.
You don't understand sober at all because you didn't understand how I could be sober in a club. You didn't understand how I could be sober in my house.
But especially
I can be around other people and not drink.
If someone's made their New Year's resolution, like, I'm not going to drink, 2020 is going to be my year to be sober, start anew. And then this happens, 2 months in, you're like, well, everyone always breaks their New Year's resolutions. This ain't the year to be sober. Like, I'm in my house. I have nothing else to do.
I have to assume sobriety is never, ever easy.
No.
But
especially now.
But that's, again,
it's very hard.
It's easy to do easier to do things when times are normal. It's when they're real tough.
But
you figure out what you're made of.
But you usually have a support system. You usually have family or friends to rely on.
Still have all that.
You still do. You can still call people. I mean, they're doing like meetings, 12-step meetings and stuff via Zoom. Like there's still resources out there.
Because you weren't going to meetings anyway.
Not really, no.
But so people who rely on meetings, like 12-steppers who are way into meetings, those are the people I think of.
Yeah, Mary's not weak like those people.
Stop it with that. Don't make that joke anymore.
Hashtag shop don't adopt.
And I would like to point out also, I haven't smoked or gotten high in almost a month. March 8th was the last day.
Oh, good
30 days.
for you.
Now, why not edibles?
I just haven't done them. I don't really. It's not something I really like doing by myself. It's always been a social thing for me. That like if all my friends are out drinking, I'll eat an edible while we're all out. If that makes sense.
So you're real bored these days.
It's not even that I'm bored. It's like I don't want to be high alone. It's like those are.
I only get high alone. I don't like being high with people. I don't like being high with people.
I never used it like I used alcohol. So it's one of those things where I would have one when I'm out with friends or if I'm out at an event or something after a comedy show. And now I've just been at home, so I don't really see a point in being high at home.
If I'm high with friends, I get paranoid. But if I'm high alone, the worst thing I'll cry about is like my bed being too close to me. Like that's something that I will cry about.
Bed being too close to
like under you?
Like if I'm standing up, I'm like, I don't remember that bed being that close. Is the room moving? Like,
I don't know if you should do drugs or drink.
I know. I said, but that's the worst thing I cry about. Other than that, I'm usually pretty good by myself.
So you're paranoid when you're with other people. Why? Because you think everybody's looking at you and laughing, or what?
They're setting me up.
Setting you up.
Yep.
Oh, I definitely get like that if I'm not around the right people.
Yeah, I feel like they're setting me up. Like either I'm going to be the clown that everyone laughs at, or I'm a target for something. I'm like, I start checking my pockets. I'm like, okay, wallet, keys, phone. I have all these things. Like, and I'm like, I just hold these the entire time until I'm ready to go. And I make sure my battery is charged.
In case you got to tip out.
Yeah, I'm the worst when it comes to that stuff. I don't like social drinking. I don't like social smoking. That's why I don't do it anymore.
Social drinking you don't like?
Not much anymore. I really don't drink that much anymore.
Well, a lot of people are. What I think is difficult.
I like the feeling of being drunk. I just don't like being drunk publicly.
What I think is difficult for people in recovery, I'll speak for only myself on this, is when you see everybody making drinking look like so much fun at home. When everyone's like, oh, it's 10 a.m., I'll have a mimosa.
A daiquiri.
And right, and they're like goofing off and like, oh, I wouldn't be able to get through this without wine. You're sitting there and you're like, I would like to sit on a Zoom call with one of my friends and have a glass of wine. That would be cool. That would be a cool thing to do right now. I'm at home. It's not like I'm going to go crash a car. It's not, you know what I mean? Like you go through all those things in your head.
Yeah, that's very scary.
You're sitting there and you're like, there's no repercussions. There's nothing I can do to get myself in trouble in my own home. But then you think about, it's never just one glass of wine. Think about the last drink that you had. It wasn't a fun, cute little, look at my champagne. No, I was...
One's too much, 10's not enough.
Right, you're drinking a warm half a Miller that was next to your bed from the night before. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
think about this, though. There is trouble you could get into. You could now, because of improvements in your life, ironically, fall out of a third-story window.
That is true, yes.
You couldn't do that before. You would have just fallen up onto the curb.
Would have hit my face on the concrete.
Up onto the ground.
Now you could fall out.
Yeah.
I know Gwen's been having a glass of Bailey's every night. I know that.
It's not a bad thing if it's
Take
not
the edge
ruining
off
your life, you know?
after chasing a toddler all day long. Yeah.
Oh, we have a chart of the booze that we've gone through.
Oh, really? At Squifle Tower?
Yeah, we've been boozing hard.
Really?
Not like super, like I'm not like hungover, but it's just one of those things like on the weekends, like that's our...
You have no responsibilities.
We cook and we eat, and that's, we cook and we eat, and we drink.
We cook and we eat.
We cook and we drink and we dance, and like we'll, we're having fun, we're being so, we're not just sitting there like throwing back drinks and being boring about it, like we're trying to make it like
You're
a
not
social
doomsday
event.
drinking.
But I'll have like 2 or 3 drinks, like a night if I want to.
2 or 3 drinks a night?
But not every night. Like I didn't drink, like I'll go like 2 or 3 days a week without drinking, but I'll have...
Every other day.
Yeah, like every other day I'll kind of have a drink. and then all weekend.
Al, I just saw on
All
Channel
weekend.
19 that 1 in 5 Ohioans working from home are drinking through their shift.
Oh, yeah.
Well, sure.
I haven't done that.
But you could.
They wouldn't
But
know.
I just
But they got to
won't.
drive to work.
Yeah, then I would have to drive to work. And until we start doing our home broadcast, which all I have to do is switch headphones,
Yeah.
I'll
Hey,
have a-
everybody.
have a White Claw out of camera.
That's what you go, I got to go to work. Take off one, put on the other. All right. Here
I
we
can't
are.
wait. I can't wait. Alan, when will you be done?
Stop.
I'm done now.
No.
I'm done now.
No, I like
Such
getting
a
out of the
bad
house.
setup for me.
I like being here. I
How,
don't-
Yes.
I don't
how
wanna
are you
just
gonna?
be at home.
How would you be set up at home, Poundcake?
What do you mean?
In his bed on his laptop.
No,
You-
not
are
on
you
my
set
bed.
up at home?
We're all set up to do a live broadcast.
We all have
Yeah.
headphones.
Well, through Zoom though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like coming. I'm set up at home, and I like coming in here and doing this.
And it looks
I
good,
can't
and
do.
it's-
I just can't do everything at home. I mean, I
Right.
can do. I can when
If
I'm set
we
up at
have
home.
to, we can.
If we have to, if the world's exploding, yeah, we can still do a podcast. But it's it's like I don't have any interactivity with. I can't get calls. I don't like
Yeah.
doing. That's why I'm coming
no
in
text,
here every day.
No nothing.
If
didn't think about
if
that.
I could do all this at home, you bet your ass I'd be at home. But I can't set it up precisely the way I want it at home. So, since we're the only ones here,
That's
I'm
the
still
other
coming
thing.
in.
I tell people
I'm
are
not
like,
around a bunch of people. There's nobody else here.
I like
people
it.
ask that. They're like, you're comfortable going into a pub? I'm like,
a big empty building.
There's
I
been
went-
nobody here since they cleaned the place.
We did
Like,
we did 2 days of shows at Bill's apartment a couple weeks ago while they were giving this whole building a Silkwood shower, and then we were the first and only ones back in.
And
there's more
We've been the only
people-
ones here.
This place is safer than a grocery store.
There's more people in my building that we would have to interact with than here.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of people going in and out of that building.
Elevator,
and Jason
all
was
that.
there too. So right now it's just the four of us.
I went to go get water, and the lights are all the way off on that side of the building. I was like, "Ooh, this is creepy. This does seem like apocalyptic."
I like it.
Except somehow Rush Limbaugh is always cranked up
Still-
to 10 in the hallway. Every
Fix
after
it. Someone
it.
fix it.
I walk down every morning.
Turn it down.
Turn it down. Yeah, Glenn Beck and then Rush
Just turn
Limbaugh.
it down. Like, I don't know why they have to have it blasting.
Because they're used to it. I don't
Oh,
know.
it's so aggravating to. Because whatever it is, I just don't want to hear it while I'm trying to work
That's
in the
right.
office.
That's right.
I don't care if it's
If it was one of the other music
one of the
stations,
other
I wouldn't want to
music
hear it either.
stations. I don't want to hear it.
But I especially don't want to hear Glenn Beck and Rush
Right.
Limbaugh when I'm trying to think
When I want to have
critically.
a thought.
When I'm trying to critically think. Yeah. Hey, I got $1,000 here for you. Good luck. It's a chance for you to pay some bills.
Rover's Morning Glory wants to help with a chance at $1,000. We have your shot at $1,000 right now. Text the nationwide keyword FAMILY, FAMILY, to 200-200. You'll get a text confirming entry plus iHeartRadio info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's FAMILY to 200-200. Good luck from 100.7 WMMS.
If you want to leave a message for us, you certainly can on the Alan Cox Show After Hours line. That is 216-986-8903.
Alan, hey man, love the show. I was just listening to one of your podcasts from back in February. I'm trying to catch up. But you guys were talking about ghost stuff and how, Indian burial grounds, like weird vibes and all that. But I actually found out a while ago, that Jeffrey Dahmer's house was on sale since like 2005 in like Bath Township, which is I think on the outskirts of Akron. But it was that house that he killed his first victim in 1978, and they wanted $295,000 for that home, and it was bought by a guy named Chris Butler, who was in a band called the Waitresses. He bought it for like $244,000, and like knowing the history of that kind of place, could you guys even like go into that place and not feel like bad vibes given the history, or would you guys have to like get paid a certain amount of money to stay there?
Waitresses were from Akron, yeah? That band, the Waitresses.
Oh,
There was
I've
a
never
local
heard of
band.
them, yeah.
I know what boys like.
Oh, that's them?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Waitresses.
okay.
That was like their big hit, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But the dude bought Dahmer's house. I don't know if he
Nope.
has since sold it. You wouldn't want to be
You
in
know
there at
I
all.
wouldn't come close to that
Right.
place. I wouldn't stand in the yard.
Not
You
even the
wouldn't stand
It's
yard.
a
in the
nice
yard.
area, though. It's a good, and you're getting it for a
Don't.
song.
Yeah, okay.
I thought, though, that it
Shit.
was urban legend that he had actually killed someone in the house.
I don't think he killed
had
someone in
the
the
head.
house. I thought he killed him outside. But either way, that's a bargain. and I'm gonna jump on it if I can.
I can't. Oh, I wish you didn't buy your condo. I wish you were still renting, and we could find you a murder house and make you move into it.
Yes, but then, smartass, you would have had to have done 2 days of shows from it.
No, that's different.
Oh, is it? You would have been in the murder house.
It wouldn't. We'd have done it from your house, Alan.
No, we would not. We would have done it from Bill's murder house. Yep.
Whatever then.
Find me a murder house.
You would sell your condo and buy a murder house.
I'm not right now, but down the road sometime.
I guarantee you someone's been murdered in one of the condos in your building. Just
for
find one of those.
sure.
Yeah, just find one of those.
Absolutely. It could have been mine. I don't know.
Be a lot less.
I don't care.
A lot less labor intensive to just move to another unit in your building.
Yeah.
Hey, I just did that. Very easy move.
Well, sure, but no one was murdered in your old apartment that you know of, other than your spirit.
No, my spirit's
But
been great
now,
up there.
In the new place.
In the new place.
The old place was murdering your
Dude,
spirit.
I
slowly.
can't even say how happy I am to be up there during all this. If I'd have been in that tiny little basement,
What? I feel like you would
Underground.
be safe. It's a bunker.
it's not even about being safe. It's about like you're like in a cage. There's nowhere to go. It's such a small, tiny, cramped little room.
Yeah, you can't even really stretch out. It
No.
was really small.
Wow.
It was really small.
And it's not really any safer. I mean, being down there, we goof on it, but I mean,
She's got the
your head-
orgasm donor to protect her.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
but your head is still foot level. Like
Yeah.
anybody could kick in your window.
Yeah.
And there's I don't even know quite what this is. I'm reading a lot about it. It's called Quibi. Is it an app or it's
I think it's an app.
it's content specifically for your phone, and it's I guess bite-sized
It's 10
episodes. Is that what it is?
10-minute episodes.
But they've got some marquee talent associated with some of these shows. They've got Sophie Turner and they've got Christoph Waltz and a handful of these people. But they do have a show on Quibi called Murder House Flip.
Nope.
You don't want to watch that?
Actually, I would watch that for sure.
Absolutely.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
it's
you're
short
just watching
form,
it. You
it's-
don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to buy it. You don't have to live in it.
I know. Just it's like a.
It's fun.
I feel like people would say they're okay with it and they like the deal, and then you get in there and it's constantly in the back of your mind. For me, at least, it would always be back there, a little nugget back there, where you could be sitting on the couch and be like, "He could have stabbed her right here."
Yeah, but you're also going to find, I would think, you're going to find a pretty decent contingent of people who are actually into that.
There are those
They're
horror
like,
weirdos.
"Ooh,
Yeah.
murder house. I
Yeah.
want to live here."
I don't mean to call you weirdos, but that's very strange to me. When people are like really into gore and blood and slasher movies,
Like me.
and like you're really into that stuff.
Love it. That's how I
Yeah,
grew up.
he's
I
so
have a
into
steady
it.
diet of it.
I have a friend who's like her whole house is decorated and that kind of stuff. Some mutual friend. It's like it's one of those where it's just like you're around it constantly. You like it that much?
I don't need that.
They have like old, like
But that's a single person.
what are those things?
Gargoyles.
Like gargoyles
Yeah.
or like props from movies.
Yeah,
or
I don't mind all that,
zombies.
but that's like it's more like a college dorm room. I don't want my house to be like that.
Yeah.
Right? But I love the
Maybe
content.
you've had like one room if you're a collector.
Yeah,
But, like,
one
having that be
room.
like your whole aesthetic in your home.
I just
A little
can't even
strange.
imagine going to the bathroom at 3 a.m, like getting up and like there's a gargoyle in your hallway. You know, I mean, I'm sure you're used to it, but you've got to look at it every now and then and be scared by it.
Yeah, but if you had like one room, like I have a friend who has like one room in her house where it's like black paint. She's got kind of this gothic leather couch. It just looks really cool. If you had one room like that, like candelabra sconces and you
Yeah.
had like a little Addams Family vibe to it. Not a contemporary, Dahmer literal murder theme, but a little bit more
Like, you
kitschy.
put like caution tape, like this is where it happened.
the chalk
Come on
outline.
through.
Chalk
Yeah.
outline.
Yeah.
Why does it have 3 arms? Well, that's where he took someone else's and put it next to that body.
It's experimenting.
Yeah, attention to detail. Hey, Jennifer,
Yes.
what's going on?
Well, I was calling because I heard Bill say he was looking for a murder house, and I have the perfect house for him.
Ooh.
It is in Parma Heights. It's a single house. They just
You lost me at
remodeled.
Parma Heights.
Beautiful.
I'll live in a murder house, but I'm not going to live in Parma Heights.
That's the most terrifying
Ugh.
part is the address.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
go ahead.
And there was 2 people killed there. They were stabbed to death. It's perfect.
Yeah, but that's a stabbing. I think I'd rather live somewhere where somebody was shot to death.
Oh my
I
God.
don't think so
Yeah,
either,
dude.
but
If
I
you
mean,
had to
Stabbing is
pick,
so much more personal.
Is it cheap?
stabbing is personal.
It's very intimate.
That would
It
give
is.
worse
It's also
energy.
convenient.
Probably a little
Convenience,
more
too.
gruesome. I mean, you know.
And if they're in
I
Parma
think
Heights, the
it's got a
person's
lot of
probably a felon and
potential.
couldn't have a gun.
I would want to live in a house where someone accidentally died from autoerotic asphyxiation.
That's different.
Because hopefully that's how I'll go out.
Yes.
That would be a good way. I mean,
but I do have standards. I'm not affected by the murder, but the Parma Heights part is just a deal breaker.
Parma Heights part's the turn off. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Let's put the call out to find a murder house in Lakewood, Rocky River, that area maybe.
Oh, a really nice area, really nice murder
Tree-
house. Murder
Tree
mansion?
Line Street.
Ooh,
Sure,
a
people
murder
are.
Even certain parts of West Park I'm okay with, but
I'm sure there's some murder
Heights.
houses in West Park. I'm sure.
Listen, there's
Murder
parts of
house
West
has probably
Park
a
that
little more character to it. Something a little bit more, in depth.
Right. All right. Thank you, Jennifer.
I've been walking my dog down Edgewater, and they have all those mansions there. I go that way. Man, those houses are so great. I walk past
It's
those
like a
and
Clue
just
house.
just like stare and be like, man, what is it like to live there? And
Dude.
just to have that kind of money where you're like, you have an estate.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a house; it's an estate.
You have a gate. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I walk
A gate at your estate. It's
from my place to Rocky River Park. You're through all these beautiful neighborhoods and all this stuff, and there's people playing and mowing their lawns and everything, and I'm just looking around, and I'm like,
I hate you.
no, I'm just like, these are the people these are the ones that murder their wives. Like, these are the ones.
Why would that come to your head?
Who murder their
because
wives?
they have, like, it's always that cute little picturesque, like, he was a wonderful husband and father, and then he's like, Bob the neighbor is like, I knew the guy, he did keep my rake once, but I never thought it would go to this,
Yeah. I wondered why I heard chainsaws at 3 a.m.
Right.
It's too early to be cutting wood. Hey, speaking of houses, I love this, and you have to watch this. I'm going to go to a break here, but you have to watch it. This is a real estate agent in Alaska, and he's giving a tour of the home. He's just walking around, okay, here's the living room on his phone, right? And this is wintertime, so he's on the back steps, and he points out the textured paint on the deck that's supposed to be slip resistant. Yeah, slip resistant like in normal, like summertime, right? This dummy, there's snow all over the steps. Wait, hold on. What is that?
That was Alkaline Trio, I think.
The Alkaline Trio, please.
Over here to the right, you can see just back out there on a clear day, you can actually see the Alaska mountain range. It's quite beautiful. Just right around the corner is a set of stairs, and you can see this paint. It's kind of like a textured paint to be a little bit more slip resistant on the stairs. So let's go ahead and head up.
Good time,
Jeez.
I love watching people fall down,
It doesn't
man.
work.
Yeah, he goes, so the paint doesn't work. It's covered in snow, you dummy.
Yeah.
This guy, he must be new to Alaska. Oh, there's this white stuff all over the ground, but there's mountains right there.
But I like that it's not like a painful, well, the paint doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, the paint doesn't work. It's just, well, the paint doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's very matter of fact.
Yeah, he's trying to be professional when he's showing people this house virtually. Well, this textured paint apparently doesn't work.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, they had textured paint on that grape stomping thing, and that poor woman,
Can I just say?
she fell all the way down.
To be a little bit more slip resistant on the stairs. So let's go ahead and head up. So the paint doesn't work.
Yeah, so the paint doesn't work.
Just having YouTube on my TV now and being able to watch full size, like people falling down on 65.
You love it.
No, that's
God.
65 inches of people
Oh my God.
defying gravity.
I did
YouTube
it last
rabbit
night
holes
of
are
the
my
year.
favorite,
Oh my
man.
God. Last night or the night before, I did it for about 45 minutes, just clicking through, just loving every
Do you pair
second
your
of it.
phone to it where you can queue up the next one and
No,
then
I
make
can do it right on my.
No, but I'm saying like it's easier. I find it easier to search for videos on my phone and then I can pair it to the TV.
Now, here's
and
the
then
difference.
make like a list and have everything that I want to watch.
I'm watching like 15-minute compilation videos of people falling down.
No, I
Oh,
do
yeah?
these things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah, and I have them ready to go.
God, it's the best.
Okay, let me break here. You want to get a text in 35192. You can call if you like 216-578-1007, 800-348-1007. You can watch live at alancoxshow.com.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.